Establishing connection. Incoming transmission from Echelon.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us for today's town hall. Today's town hall is going to be about, I guess, like an overview of all the products that we've been putting out there in the last couple months. So, pulling everything together and then giving you guys some insight as to what sort of the next steps are with some improvements and upcoming features. So, part one, we'll have Steele and Jake sort of go through the newer syncs and the prime score, the profiles, missions, etc. And then in part two, Beau and I will go through improvements and upcoming features for data pipeline stuff, cleaning up the website, and marketplace and profiles linking, and some bigger board stuff. So with that, I'll throw it over to Steele and or Jake, and we can kick it off.
Cool. Thanks, Meta. So we're just going to touch on a couple of things. So first, we'll cover raffles, talk a little bit about the tournament versus /duels app, and then hand over to Jake for profiles, prime score, and we'll talk about missions. And then the second kind of leg, Beau and Meta will talk a little bit more on things with the marketplace and bonds and other things like that, profiles. So kicking it off, raffles. So I think everybody's pretty well aware of raffles. We've had pretty good signal. It's been useful. We did have one issue with the provider that we were able to overcome, and we're actually reconstructing the contract, going to launch a new version to avoid potential issues in the future. So live and learn a little bit there. What will be coming up is we've kind of finished, and we'll do some initial testing on expanding offerings of the raffles. And what I mean by that is moving beyond base and adding things from L2 and then also batched base items. So there's two approaches. We're looking at a contract revision to allow multiple items to be the same contract, but still have one winner. So it'd be easier to give away a couple different assets, to say like a bundle of expansion packs for each expansion set, or maybe a group of cards to help somebody build a meta deck, things like that. So that'll be some interesting capacity features. And then tokenizing things on mainnet. So some things that haven't bridged or don't have liquid markets on base, things like Wong variants or the Mentos and things like that. We'll add some of those in, just give some people some chase cards to go after, and it will simply be people take a they'll win, and then we'll deliver it on mainnet as soon as it's done. And then we also excitingly have some new prime variants coming up. So those will be released once we upgrade the contract to ensure that we can always not run into that issue with the VRF provider. So those are coming up as well. And hopefully we'll expand as well to include some digital and maybe eventually some physical items as well. We'll collaborate with the studio a bit on that. Moving to duels and the tournament app versus duels is alive and well. There's actually some duels running today. We had a good number of people participate in the missions and try out duels, and we learned a lot there. So thank you for participating. Hope most of you had a good experience through that. We'll continue to refine it and upgrade that, but we think that can really be a fun way for people to settle the score and do some creative things, because you are able to do a lot of card banning and deck banning and things like that. So hopefully people continue to use that and find new ways to enhance their kind of gaming experience. Tournament monetization is the next big thing on the horizon. Due to takeover of the bonds and marketplace, this is kind of been deprioritized while we work through some things here, as well as prime score. But it's nearly ready. We're doing some final testing. We want to make sure it goes really smooth, make sure that it's very intuitive and very easy to set up and participate in. But soon we'll be able to have trusted, verified community members be able to set up and run monetized tournament apps. So kind of like high stakes tournaments that were in the app, but obviously this will exist on our tournament side, and will allow us to seed it with prizes and prime and introduce entry fees to help build scalable pots. So we're excited about that. That should be out before the end of the year. Like I said, it's really just in the final few tweaks, and we'll continue to update folks in Discord as it gets a little bit closer and look for some testers initially there. I think that covers off the few products I wanted to touch on that have kind of recently come online. And so, Jake, I'll hand it over to you for a little bit of talk about Profile and Prime Score.
Okay, thanks. Profiles, I mean, I don't have too much to say specifically on profiles because it's just sort of the overall umbrella for everything right now. You know, it's the one place that we want people to go for basically everything in the ecosystem. We did some restructuring of the website today. There's still some more migration to take care of, but it's it's intended to be the central hub. Like you go to your profile, you see everything that you can do, all your syncs and stuff that you can use, any missions, badges, things like that that are going on. Like one central, easy place to go to. Syncs were always a pain in the ass because they were spread all over the place and hard to find. So profiles is definitely helping to wrap that up nicely and make it all easier to use. Still work to do, obviously, and always open to suggestions as we go forward, especially for anything that makes it easier to use. Like the user experience has always been something that's lacking, we think, and so we are trying to make that simpler and just better. So yeah, always open to suggestions there. Prime Score is probably one I can talk about a little bit more. I know details have been a little bit vague on it right now. The overall idea for it is to direct Prime earnings towards our biggest or maybe best customers. You know, the people that are part of the ecosystem, the people that buy cards, that participate in pack drops, people that play games, that are active and doing various things. You earn Prime Score, and that is going to modify your in-game Prime earnings. I know I haven't released specific numbers on that, but you will have those very soon because the next emissions are coming out in a couple of days. Season's ending, and we're planning on shipping the first batch of modified scores, scores modified by Prime Score. I mean, for this next set of emissions, and with that, we'll release all the info on how it works and what numbers we're actually looking at. I just want to make sure that everything lines up and works out before I say specific numbers. But you'll have that info very soon. And I will say that it is very valuable to be high up on the Prime Score leaderboard, as it were. The leaderboard is also coming, by the way. It's very worthwhile to have to participate in our ecosystem. We want to make sure that people feel that their participation is worthwhile, and it will be. So I think everyone will be excited about that, and I'm looking forward to being able to share more specific information on it in the next few days. Did you want to talk about missions some, Meta or Steel?
Yeah, I can speak to missions a little bit. So missions, we did the first missions last month. Hopefully, everyone was able to get their crack at the Chrome Striker, the first exclusive skin, gun skin from Sanctuary. So we will burn the rest of the existing supply. I think we minted about 1,000, but yeah. Once we're closing, we've already closed it off. Essentially, you would still claim it if you've already earned it, but you can't earn it any longer. And we'll burn the rest of the supply. Today, we're just doing some final testing, but we'll flip over to the next season. Missions will be on a monthly cycle, so you'll be able to earn rewards as you sort of improve your Prime Score as you play. You'll be getting sort of recognized and hopefully earn a reward. So next month's reward will be the ability to claim I believe it's a deception pack as well as an aftermath pack for a smaller set of missions than last month. But the idea is that it'll flip around on a monthly cycle. We have a variety of different sort of rewards in a carousel that we'll give out, as well as a carousel of missions that will change up. So you're not doing the same missions every month. And that's something that we felt we wanted to just sort of as you sort of do these missions, as you sort of participate, there's other rewards that you can get through the process. I think that's sort of the end of that first part. So that's the overview of all these things that have gone out in the last few months. We're sort of working through like missions and profiles was sort of a huge undertaking for us, trying to tie everything together as Jake outlined. So now I think one of the key things, like if you don't know where a sync is, you don't have to Google it anymore. Just go to echelon.io, and there's a button that you can click immediately and you can go directly there. If you go now to echelon.io, you notice that profiles is now echelon.io, so that like it is becoming your hub. You can access the old site, no problem. There's a button there called info that'll take you to the previous echelon.io where you can see all the old info. But now echelon.io is the sort of central point where your profile will be. With that, I'll share some stuff later. Maybe I'll pass it over to Bew to outline some of the data pieces before we get into some of the more design. So Bew.
Yeah, I mean, this should be pretty straightforward. We've had a goal to really grow and expand the data lake and the number of data sources we're consuming from. We have spent a lot of time working really successfully with Parallel Studios to get more access to things like game data, and that's really helped us build out some of these things like missions, like Prime Score, and kind of additional rewards, as well as continuing to lead on the bot, cracking down on botting and kind of like account deception as it relates to earnings. That work kind of like continues. We're always, it's never something that's done. It's always something that's ongoing. And so, we've added a number of data sources, internal and external, the last 3 months, and we're continuing to do that. The more data we have, the more things we can learn. We'll have better insights into what's working and what's not working, and we'll have like a better ability to sort of make sure that as things grow and expand, like the people who are engaging with the ecosystem the most should be the ones that are getting recognized the most often.
Great. Okay, and then I think some stuff that we wanted to share as in terms of like new features coming up. I'll share screen here. Think. Give me 1 second. I think this is the one. Let me know if you can see this. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, we can see it. That's
Okay.
good.
So this is always the intent. When you sign into your profile, you should be able to access everything. And so one of the pieces that we are incorporating is the ability to aggregate your wallet. So actually, if you go into echelon.io right now and click on your profile, or like there's a cog at the bottom. This is like an older screen, but there's a cog at the bottom and can add one of your wallets. It'll aggregate all your Prime across like all your wallets as well. And the next step is like, okay, let's get your collections in there. So the idea is that right now I think we've got 2 tabs, but we'll be adding a tab here with your cards. So you'll click this and you'll be able to index, we'll be indexing your entire collection. And since you can see your collection, we might as well just tie this into Marketplace. So essentially what we're planning here is that like within the Profiles tab, you'll be able to see your entire collection and you'll be able to toggle between. So see if I can switch. Can you guys see me switch screens here? No.
Yeah, okay, that works.
Can you see me move this around?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see your collection. So this sort of like is an aggregate between, I guess, marketplace now and but I think one of the things that sort of we wanted to do with this ability to rethink some of this marketplace stuff is like really segment between, I guess, the sort of buying and selling or listing, let's say, and then the actual card stats. So there will be a toggle on the top right here, excuse me, where you'll be able to basically switch between your collection as a marketplace or switch between your collection with the card stats. So so these are the two toggles, as you can see. On the marketplace side, you'll see that like all the cards will be sort of collapsed. So one of the issues I think on OpenSea as well as the current marketplace is like we have so many cards, so many variations of one card, right? And you'll see like a row of, let's say if you have a one particular card, let's say your Lord Harf. Lord Harp, there'll be like the FE version, SE version, etc. So now that's all going to be consolidated into one image of that card, and then you can click in and see which variation. So this will drastically reduce the bloat on sort of discovery. And then as you can see here, you'll be able to click this and list it. Now this will list to the marketplace itself, but you'll be able to perhaps eventually view other people's collections, but it will list to the marketplace. Then if you toggle show card stats, you'll be able to see basically your cards with the information that we're starting to see, well, we've seen in the game client already. So you'll have attack, defense, you'll have the ability, the name, of course, and then the sort of set expansion icon. So I think this is Aftermath, I believe. Of course, this is base set, etc. So yeah, and that will be all sort of visible to you while you sort of flow through profiles. And of course, like the history of like what has been listed, what is been purchased, etc. And then I think there was a frame for the leaderboard. So as Jake had mentioned, we'll be adding leaderboards here. So there'll be stuff for prime score to just sort of give you an insight as to where you rank and where you are, where the rest is. We'll surface about 100 of them. You'll be able to get a sense of where you're at with other community members. I think we'll also do the prime earned last month, so we'll see like a list of who earned what via the emissions, and then I think we might as well add the tournament league points as well. We already have that on the tournament side or the versus side, but we might as well surface it here. So yeah, those are the things coming. This actually, this whole marketplace thing apparently is in staging right now. We're going to be doing some testing on it. It'll probably be still a few weeks out because of design and UI stuff, but it is close, and we're excited to sort of build profiles out so that it becomes truly a hub for everyone that's sort of playing, collecting, and sort of earning prime. And I think with that, we will take a few questions. If anyone has any, just throw it in chat. I mean, it's in staging, so it's not something that like we're saying we're working on and we're playing around with. It's in staging, so we're testing it. Hopefully today. So hopefully it's out before too long. Does anyone have any questions? profile comparison. And so the question was any profile comparison. I'm not sure what that means exactly. I think one of the things that we had like originally um, thought about when you we were thinking about profiles was the ability to look through like a um, other community members sort of collections as well as their let's say their stats. Uh, I'm not sure we're quite there yet, but it would be great to be able to, yeah, essentially find like friends was something that like we had thought about as well, but essentially go through, you could share a link to your collection with other people. That should be here, so we'll add like a share link perhaps. But being able, the ability to like flip through and see how um, yeah, like other people's collections as well as like how well they've done in the earning side, how well they've like did they do their missions, etc. Like that would be fun to see. I think the more interactivity between community members while using profiles is sort of um, uh, key, and we've thought about different ways of doing that. Um, so yeah, a comparison would be an interesting way to do.
A brand, I can answer that one. Um, uh, Basically, no, because we don't want people to just do what they perceive is like the best thing to boost score. It's supposed to reward uh, everything you do, and also the weightings of things can change over time if we feel the need to. And we wouldn't want to like communicate something and then every time a slight tweak is made, um, we communicate that the weight for this activity changed from 0.2 to 0.25. It gets a little messy doing all that. The purpose of prime score, I kind of answered that one earlier. Maybe you missed it, and that's fine. The idea, the broad idea, is just to direct prime earnings to ecosystem participants. The people that do things here. Um, they boost their prime score. You will earn more from gameplay. There will be more specific numbers on that coming out after emissions are shipped for this next month. So expect some more specific information on that in a few days. So because I know it's a little bit vague right now, but we will be giving information on the various prime score. There will be tiers. Top tier earns a bigger modifier compared to the lower tiers, but we'll spell that out a little bit more in a few days for you.
Next question, is there any plan to update the card exchange, for example, pool cards to exchange based on rarity? So we've had a design for like pool swaps um, for a while now. We're just trying to get through the backlog of like sort of, if like we've done all these sort of URL changes and cleaning things up. We want to make sure everything is sort of working in a proper order before we build out new things. But yes, Storm Tart, we are planning on eventually getting a card swap function in there. But right now we want to focus on like consolidating everything and make sure the stuff that we have out is working.
Um, for the question, Nan, that you pinged me on, uh, yeah, no, I like. Yeah, sure, we could change that stuff every single day, but that would be a wild amount of work and add like unnecessary monitoring to make sure everything is working correctly all the time. Um, we can make changes, occasionally if needed, but randomizing the values every day would just not be what we want. And also, some of the values are purposefully chosen based on the activity. So there is purpose behind it, and just doing it randomly would kind of get rid of that.
Paul asks, is there an API yet for game card data? I I think there is one, but that would be through Parallel. I'm not sure, Jake or you have.
I can add on to that one a little bit. We used to have defined, but that fell apart quite a while ago and doesn't work anymore. There is a parallel API for game card data, but it's not public. I don't know if they have plans to make that public or not.
Jeremy asks, as for the catalog potential reward assets, i.e. Striker, what is the potential collection pool? Is it only for Sanctuary or will there be? Yeah. So the question is, what are the reward types for missions, I think? And yeah, it will be, it'll run the gamut of all the games, and it will cycle through. We have like, we want to refresh this. So as the game sort of progresses, if there's new stuff, new sets, new expansions, like we'll hopefully be able to get a pipeline of different rewards that are exclusive to the mission system. So the first one is from Sanctuary. I think the next one is the packs that I mentioned. But we have some juicy ones that are not necessarily Sanctuary related. That we've made available, and then as as the game sort of progress into further development, we'll hopefully work with the studio to get special assets to give out. So yeah, I don't want to sort of reveal what we've got down, but we've got some interesting ones. But it will span Parallel, TCG, Sanctuary, column. Damonistic asks, I cannot load the caching page. Will become available soon. I think it should be available. If you are on the old Echelon.io info page, yeah, okay. So it looks like you found the answer, but yeah, should be working. And just as for everyone's information, everything will be claimable off profiles now. So in the top tab, you'll go to billboards. That's like the sort of singular place where you'll be claiming rewards from. We'll be deprecating the rewards from Marketplace and Bonds as soon as we make the transition. Those URLs will also change away from I think it's like sanctuary.online/bonds right now. Those will change to bonds.echelon.io. So we're working through all that housekeeping to make it sort of logical as to where things are, so people know where to get things when they need to. I don't have any initiatives at the moment to support the new tooling. Not specifically, but they're like as always, like if there are grants, if a community member is interested in building stuff out, grants can be submitted. I think in the info-1.io section, and that's always been available. I think we've got some. The last sort of community stuff that we've been dealing with are the grassroots initiatives, and we're looking through at seeding some new bonds. But outside of that, as the community sort of has ideas, like we're open to listening. Any plans to incorporate parallel avatars into the profile system? We have thought of, so I think I think it's like indirectly, yes. How I believe it works, it's similar to the tournaments page, but if you have your like on versus, if you've got your account connected to Parallel.life, you will sort of use that profile picture from Parallel.life. And so yeah, so your avatar will be visible if you use that option. I think for this first bit, we just wanted to create something simple so you had like the 5 factions and whatnot. But we can rig up the profile to your parallel life. So it won't be that you go on the profiles and you set your avatar as your profile. It would be, you know, a toggle or a check mark that says use parallel life uh, PFP, and then you'd have to set your avatar on the parallel.life profile. So the yes and no is, I guess, the answer to the question. The sound design on payload is nuts. Was it Cypher? I believe it was, but I think he handles all the sound design there. But we'll have to get the studio's official answer to that. But it does sound good. All right. Okay, well, if there isn't anything else, thanks so much everyone for joining the call. We'll have this recorded, so a couple of the questions have been answered before, but you can if you've come in late, you can look through the video, listen to the video. I will post it later. Appreciate it, everyone. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Meta. Thanks, everyone.